My mother, Lil, detested Mother's Day. It's for florists, she'd grumble. That's why I'm gonna buy her flowers. Not that my mother knows it's Mother's Day. She hardly knows it's a day. The doctors diagnosed her with Alzheimer's 7 years ago, after 2 years of wondering about her increasingly odd behavior. Where's my coffee mug? Mom, you don't even drink coffee. Oh. I'm your daughter. Oh, hi Emma. That's not even my name. But this Mother's Day isn't a day of joyous occasion. It's the day of my mother's death. A March 1st, 2017 New York Times article states that taking short, brisk walks with someone who has early onset Alzheimer's may reduce their memory loss. Researchers, however, are far from curing this debilitating disease. Horrifying to watch as it strips a patient of every aspect of their identity. In the following selection, a woman reflects on her mother's battle with Alzheimer's and the life lessons she's learned from her along the way. Making an exit for Eleanor Fuchs. My mother was impossible. She wasn't impossible because she was cruel or cold or anything, but she was impossible because there was just too much of her. You could admire her, enjoy her, as she did do herself, but you couldn't exactly love her. Like, for instance, once when I was a newlywed, we were in a Provincetown bookstore and she wanted to buy me a sex manual. I don't know. I'd rather read a love manual. Love. Mother thought love was one of those soft, creepy words like God, woman, soul. And even Mother. With her booming voice, her scorn for stupidity, in any given room, Mother seemed to take up all the air there was. Putting my mother in a nursing home was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make. Upon entering, I took in the intricate social geography of the place. On one end, you have the late-stage hopeless, from whom others avert their eyes. The middle is held up by imperious loners and shufflers. Mrs. Carmichael fits into this group. She sits bolt upright in a wheelchair all day and hums gospel fragments. I ask Mother what she thinks of the new crowd of people in her life. They're all crazy here. Oh? Yeah. They don't eat. At least my mother still has her good sense of humor. On my mother's second day in the nursing home, I find her deep in conversation with a slim, silvered-haired gentleman known throughout the unit as the Professor. Mother wears the satisfied Cheshire Cat grin as she talks to this new catch. Though I've been warned, the Professor belongs to Mrs. Dempsey. Mrs. Dempsey holds his hand and pushes him around. But today, Mother's moved in and she has fixed her aroused stare on this singular man. As I draw closer, I can hear her babbling an incoherent string of syllables. But the professor listens with apparent interest. As I draw closer, I ask, "Hey, Mom, do you think your new friend would mind if we spent some time alone together?" The professor obliges, and Mom wheels him off to a drop-off point. Where she promptly forgets he exists. Alzheimer's is one of the worst diseases a family member can acquire. You lose your loved ones twice. First, as they're no longer who they were, and second, when the body dies. I still remember the defining break between my mother and the normal world. I was taking her out for a walk, and the distinction between people and objects had vanished.
Oh, I'm in a wet ditch. There's all these wet ditches.
Ah, what ditches? Interesting.
I'm having a bedruz. No, I'm having a crescent.
My mother's language had become completely incomprehensible.
Where is my husband? Where is he?
Mom, Dad died years ago.
No. The professor. He's my husband.
Mom, I think you need some rest. And as I watched my mother lay down, I just had this sinking feeling in my stomach that I would never see my mother normal ever again. But it's Mother's Day, and I'm making my first visit to Mother since she was admitted to the special care unit at the hospital. When I arrive, she looks at me with some kind of slow astonishment, like some kind of recognition rippling across her face. It's not exactly she knows who I am. By any measure of the term, she's forgotten. To know who someone is, I've learned, isn't just a simple move of cognition. Mother would have to know what a daughter is for a start, and that Eleanor and this idea of daughter belong together, and that this woman hugging her is both Eleanor and daughter. But today, something seems different. And she bursts into joyful sobs and hugs and kisses me. Is that you, Eleanor? And for the first time in 7 years, since my mother acquired this awful disease, she finally got my name right. Happy Mother's Day.
It's for florists.
I got you flowers.